Cool.
Cheese sauce base has revolutionised my cuisine now.
Oh,
Nice.
cuisine is a strong word.
I mean, whiskey, Coke, and a pizza.
Lovely.
That makes it cuisine.
I got a curry.
Oh, yum. Nice.
It's roll 20. Is there something up with roll 20?
No.
Doesn't seem to be.
Can I load it?
Is it just me, or does it feel like, as a group, it kind of feels like we're going from sort of the middle chapter to the final chapter of a film? You know what I mean? Like, it feels like this is like a very pivotal
This is the
point.
end game.
Oh, well, it's either like the end game, or like Monty Python style, just a big foot just comes down and crushes us. Just
Yeah.
All we know. Sorry, right?
Or it could very easily be, while we're here, there's a little innocuous little thing that Rick has described for flavour. Let's investigate that and then go off on a little side thing for a couple of months.
Well,
Let's go explore the underground tunnels.
this is what I was thinking. Like, Rick's never said Aphelian's woken up. Just that he
Yes,
basically
inferred.
has had a fart or something in his sleep. So we're rushing.
I think it's
We
very
don't
much
know.
inferred.
I mean, that's a very strong stance to take, or not take, as it is. But yeah,
The ultimate optimist. Like, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe that was just a false alarm.
I'm sure all this fuss is for nothing.
Maybe it's like the people that believe in Jesus. Where it's just like, the worst case scenario is I'm wrong, but I've not been an asshole. If Jesus doesn't exist, the worst case for you, you're fucked.
I mean, you
So
do go
the
remember
worst
that
case scenario.
the woman that killed, summoned the thing that killed fucking my character, Northkin. he's already got out of my mind. He did mention that Athelion was still alive and is only kept dormant by the sword that we then removed.
Yeah.
She's probably it's all in the head. She's a fanatic.
Yeah, you get to a certain age.
He's definitely a fanatic.
So, on that note, we were veering into a recap anyway. Who's given the recap?
Someone that's not eating.
That doesn't. I did it last week.
Jim.
But your memory is amazing.
I don't. Well, I can start it, and then you can finish eating, and you can finish it. How about that? Hello. Goodbye.
All right, I can do the notes that I've got, but I know
No, I
for
didn't
a
even
fact.
do anything
service.
last week. I walked 90 feet. That's all I did.
We tried to find Clive. We were looking. Used our survival skills. We saw there were like little bits of four-legged tracks, and then there was Clive, and then went off, and we spent flipping ages trying to persuade a dwarf to part with an undead hand and 3 rather intelligent elk that felt massively underestimated. But we through a combination of Tauchi, lifting Borin above the water, trying to convince him, tried to barter with him. We tried to pry Clive's hand from the mouth of these elk. A dead orc was summoned underneath the bridge to distract one, which worked, and slightly pacified it until it realised it was fake, and then it was a bit pissed. There was one of Tauchi was garroted a little bit. He was rammed by one of them. That didn't go very well. But in the end, it was all kind of slightly pacified. And just as it was getting as everything was, the situation was calming down a bit, Slicks came running over with Grom, and we kind of solidified the fact we weren't sure of Borin's allegiances. So we kind of, through no uncertain terms, made it clear that we are not with the Val. No, the Veil.
Yeah.
We're not with the Veil with the Rykov decapitated hand. A little bit of a wave again. And he was just like, "All right, fine, I'll come with you. I'll do what you want. Just don't hurt me." So we've gained him in the party, whether he likes it or not. There was mention of underground trade routes, which are much quicker to get between all the cities, but not everyone knows about them, and it's mainly used by the dwarves. He, as a dwarf, I think he's a druid, so he seems potentially quite powerful, quite interesting. The elk are kind of part of him, part of his posse, his entourage. So I guess they come with him, but they do suffer from mood swings from time to time and may just wander off and do their own thing. The So we didn't opt for the trade routes. We basically we of two minds of where we want to go, and we're not sure who wants to go where. And we were starting to make our way back to the caravan, I believe. No, we made our way back to the caravan with a rough plan of using these elk to basically to warp speed us to our destination a bit quicker. While we were deliberating what we were doing, the crystal went off, and I believe it was Praxis asking for a status or a report from Rykov, and that I believe is where we left it. And I'm not sure if it's clear if the crystal is audio only or if it's also holographic. And we've got a Palantir scenario. Is it Palantir? Palantir?
Palantir.
Palantir, there you go, scenario. And there's probably loads of other details that I missed.
You may have been like blocked out in your memories because it was just so disgusting. As the way.
Yeah. So I forgot about that. Yeah, I tried to prise hand out with the knife, didn't work. I tried to get to sniff the troll's blood, didn't work. In the end, I put the troll's blood on the mouth, vomited all over Denos and Clive's hands, and then when I went to the river to wash off all the remains, I noticed that the chunks of Clive's hand is coming away, and he doesn't look in a great shape.
I think the only other thing
Mm-hmm.
I've got written down is at the start of the session, Tauchi hands Slicks a note. Slicks advises the group. It reads, "We're on our way back with the weapon and the prisoners. We don't expect any delay."
The dwarf has wet pants, either from being dangled in the river or because he pissed.
Yes. Oh, Buttercup killed a shitload of cobalt and was picking her teeth with some bones or like a femur or something. As we got back, she seemed very delighted with herself. And the caravan is intact and okay, I believe.
Yeah.
Six also cast Disguise Self to disguise himself as what was his name?
Rykov?
Yeah, him.
Ooh.
So just in case the stone can see, there'll be that.
I was just going to get Octavia to answer it and say Rykov was taking a piss in the woods.
I mean, yeah, so that, unless there's any other details anyone wants to add, that takes us through to you are at the caravans and you feel a vibration from this crystal and a voice saying, "Give me an update." I don't have my echoey horn. Give me an update. Where do we stand? Could
I do some sort of check to see if I can remember any mannerisms or like how Rykov talked?
So I will let you do either a let's see, it depends on your approach whether you're going to, if you're kind of improving it and kind of freestyling it as you're going with this crystal, then I'm happy for you to do a performance check. If you're thinking back to kind of pick out specific quirks, then I'm happy for you to do a history check.
So I think the way Slicks would want to try and deceive him would be to try and convincingly act as Rykov. So he'd probably go for the what did you say? History.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's a lower score than. Oh no, my performance is my. No, come on, never mind. I was looking at perception. All right, history.
Okay.
Fuck it now. Middle of the barrel. Everything.
I mean, you kind of, you don't remember any particular like kind of standout tics, ways of speaking, or foibles or anything like that. You remember his voice because it was quite recent, but nothing really beyond that.
Okay, it's because I kind of remember like he didn't talk much and kind of only like nodded and like did affirmation, and there was no actual speaking. Am I remembering that right?
So
Like he was a man of little words.
he was. Let me just double check something.
He was a little word until mentioned
Until
it.
Tenos angered him.
Yeah, so this is what happens when I switch notebooks. So you definitely, he didn't speak to you directly in a kind of chatty sort of way, but in that kind of scuffle and heat of battle, you'd have definitely heard him kind of crying out. You'd have heard his voice, and you'd have been aware of like the kind of the pitch of his voice as well, from like kind of grunts and stuff like that.
Okay, so as that all flashed through my head in the second that I was asked, as the crystal said that, I would then reply, saying, "What do I say? There have been delays. We ran into goblins all soaked up, but we shall return within the expected time frame."
Are you so how are you talking into this crystal? Are you holding it up in front of you? Is it kind of shrouded, or is it in someone's pocket? Who's around the crystal, and how are you holding it?
So I would hold it up in front of me, but I would have my back to the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be talking into it, trying to pass as Rykov.
Okay. Give me, so because you've got a disguise self on.
Yep.
Give me a performance check with advantage.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm not charismatic. What are these rolls? Sorry, guys.
But first, you don't succeed.
Rykov, why do you sound different? Give me the truth of it. What is happening?
The prisoners escaped. I'm sorry. But we still have the sword.
I'm hearing problems. I'm hearing few solutions. Soaped up goblins, escaped detainees. This displeases me. What will you do about it?
I will complete the job at any cost.
Maybe setting some small fires to Some of your family residences may focus your mind. I expect you back here on time, no delays, or else I will set the usual guard waiting for you at the Hammer. Do not disappoint me again, Rykov.
Paul Rykov.
Boy, when proper like I don't know, remind me of just Sean Bean from Goldeneye a bit there.
Give me an insight check.
Better insight.
So with a 16, you are able to determine that Praxis doesn't buy it completely. You're not quite sure the extent of his suspicion, but you're reasonably sure he knows that something is up. Mostly thanks to that 9 performance.
Yeah, I tried to like swing it in a way that it's like he'd be hiding a problem rather than it not being him.
I mean, fair play for jumping in and just outright pretending to be him.
Yeah.
How big is the crystal? Have interest.
Not that big.
And I mean, Tenos isn't the person to do this, but do we know if it can, if potentially it's doing other things and just allowing Praxis to communicate with us? Like,
Was I can't remember. Did I recognize it as a what do you call it? The is it talking stones or something like that? Is that why?
So this looks slightly different to those stones that you had before, and sending stones.
Sending stones. That's what I was thinking of.
Someone can do an Arcana check or a History check on it, but you'd need to be proficient in it, and it's still going to be reasonably difficult to determine any more details about this.
So I'll look at it while it's in my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Okay. Again, you don't know for certain, but you would be fairly sure that just going from the way that the Veil has operated before and the kinds of tools and artifacts they use and the fact that they can send messages very, very quickly, it probably does more than just communicate, but you'd also be able to kind of put 2 and 2 together with how you think this works and the fact that a note and a messenger was also sent, that it's not kind of a does everything crystal. So you don't know the mechanics of whether it's got charges or a certain number of uses, or like you can do pings, but it does more than just a walkie-talkie. But there was still a need for a message to be sent.
basically, are we being tracked, or are we trackable? Is the trying to get to.
I think the fact that he was, well, first of all, that they had to say that they would, in the message that was sent on the paper, it was given them how long they'd be back. So by that, I don't think they'd be able to track with it, and also the fact that he just checked in to ask where he is.
And it's not necessarily linked to Rykov. Like Rykov dying isn't an alarm bell with this thing, so it's not linked to him. Well,
So
unless this is
probably
an excellent game played by Praxis.
Yeah. Which I Praxis doesn't believe is because he's had a notification that Rykov died and someone else has used.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think rather than trying to figure every single possibility of the world out, we'd be here for another hour and a half, like last session.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Before
Yeah, I was watching the video of last session that Rick put on YouTube. And I was like, all right, this is where we start talking about what to do next. And look at the time frame, there's an hour and a half left.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, before we kind of jump on and figure out what we're going to do, Henoth, go to Tauchi and give him his red book back. So basically, he walks up to Tauchi, just kind of gets the book out, says, "You might have dropped this." Just holds it out in front of him.
Ouch, you'd look knowingly and say thank you. And take the book.
So as you hand the book over, when it was in Tenos's hands, it looked like it was kind of phasing between being impossibly old and brand new and kind of everything in between. As you take it back into your possession, it seems more stable
Tangible.
and more kind of aligned to you. So it's definitely got a strong link specifically to you. So where we all going?
Well, gang, it's time to split up and look for clues.
Well, okay, so yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. You all got the prints out. You all know what to do. Tenos draws an elaborate plan in the mud with a stick. We basically have these elk, right, and we're going to use them to get to different places. Now, I suppose the thing that we don't know if we're doing or not is the guaranteeing the message back to Amazon Burl via direct.
I'm resolute on that. If we're not guaranteeing the message going to Hampton Burl, there is no point going anywhere else.
Even in Barrowcross.
No point. What's the
I
goal?
thought the people that are going to Barrowcross were going to Amson Burl, then they get the boat to the Hammer. I thought that was the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. I think if we go to Barrowcross, we go Amson Bowl. There's no point in going to Barrowcross. And
I think also taking McTarvio to Amson Burl would probably be a good idea, as to get him out of danger, as he's kind of been through the shit right now.
Yeah,
fuck that guy. He would sell his own grandma for a $5.
So are we?
Do you not? He saved us. He listened to your inspiration and he knocked the guy off.
If you are going to go to Amson Burn in that case, then do you think it's prudent to still reach out to Rosh to try and get a message back as well, or just?
Yeah, because Rosh will probably have additional information. If it can get there at a similar time to the gang getting to Amson Burl, they can then use that additional information.
And we know about the trade routes as well. So.
Rosh is in the Hammer, is he not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's Tenos and Flick's going. At least Tenos.
He might send a pigeon or something.
Yeah, well, he might.
Yeah.
Like I said, remember, when Tenos remembers when the governor just teleported himself into Rosh's office just to have a bit of a chat and then teleported back out. So, there is. I don't think there's any kind of limit to how these characters can communicate with each other in some ways.
Also, what we could do is the people go to Amson Burl, maybe have a quick pop in to see what's his face, Billy Bob of the wizard guy. What's his name?
Billy Bob of the wizard guy.
Your boy in Barrowcross.
No. The head of the academy. The head of the academy. It's
Tumblebelly.
Tumblebelly. Yeah.
Because he might want a little revenge for the was Was it the deputy head? Did he betray, or was he killed and then mimicked? I can't remember.
I mean, as I recall, we gave him the opportunity for revenge, and he just decided to fucking pussy out. Did you not?
No, because we didn't know for sure.
There was a lot of
Oh, we couldn't
outside
convince
the office
him.
of the perpetrator for quite a while.
There was like we have 4 hoods, 4 cloaks, but we've only got 1 guaranteed, and we don't know who the other cloaks belong to.
Yeah.
We still don't.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the number of cloaks is really important to the.
It could have just been spare cloaks for the one guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's gonna get really bloody, don't they, with all those cloaks?
Doesn't do his laundry often. So.
Yeah.
It's just really diligent Rael.
Yeah. He's the deputy head. He doesn't know the spell that cleans your clothes.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So that could be a note to pop in and just see if he's itching for some revenge.
So go on, Val.
I think Rosh's note also helps solidify our story because in Amson Bill, we're outsiders.
Well, I think it'd be good to just catch up with Rosh generally because I've made contact with him, but I haven't seen him since the beginning of this. Anyway, since Amson Bill.
Also, wouldn't Faust and Tauchi be adventurers as they were hired by the governor? He's not going to hire some random shitty level 1 adventurers.
Yeah.
They've got to be at least well known or have some renown that the governor would want to hire him. So therefore, maybe you know a guy at the academy or someone in the governor's employ that you can get a message through. There's also Oregon's mates he made.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It's my fault for not writing it down. Did Tenos give the Academy pack to AKA Junior Goblin Slayer, or do I still have the Academy pack?
Did give away the Academy pack.
I did. Okay, never mind. Because that could have been a potential. Here you go. But here. I mean, look, you can pick them up for a gold. All you have to do is sign up. It's pretty easy.
Do we still have...
So are we Tenos or Slicks going to the Hammer then? And then everyone else. Wait, okay, so what was it? Tenos, Slicks, and Grom going to. We basically need to divide the party and agree who's going to the Hammer to reconnaissance, make contact with our contacts, and at least be in the city to have an advantage about what Praxis's next steps will be, and then the other half of the group are going to Barracross via Amson Burl via the All Trade back to ultimately everyone meeting in the Hammer.
Yeah,
that's the rough trajectory.
I think that the weapon shouldn't go with us to the Hammer. It should go with the group going to Amson Burl. So therefore, the Veil aren't going to easily get their hands on it.
Actually, yeah. I was about to say you want to go to Forge.
But we should have Grom come with us to the Hammer, so we'd have to pass that on to either one of you guys can hold it or give it to an NPC you're taking with you.
Oregon or Buttercup? Maybe not Buttercup.
Oregon.
I assume
is Oregon really trustworthy anyway?
I mean, the idea. My initial thought was to get it to Forge, but it would be safer further away than the Hammer.
Whole thing before we give it to Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like potentially if we do take Dawkins' body back to Brian, having the whole sword near Brian might be some kind of PTSD effect, where he only had a chunk of it in his neck, in the nape of his neck, whereas this whole thing might just, he might suddenly turn into a big meth head. I don't know.
So I assume that Buttercup would want to go with Faust.
Yeah.
As they're lovers but not lovers. They're kind of like dancing around each other.
Like a sister.
A sister
He's
that you support,
he's
but
ne-
then put in terrible peril.
I thought he was just nagging her along.
And then if two of the out are going with the Barrowcross guys, then I assume what was his name? Borin would go with them.
Well, this is where it might get a bit tricky because if we are, let's say, Tenos and Flix and Grom are going to the Hammer with one elk, is Borin going to part with one elk? And then is he happy with to take the other two on the caravan?
Or we'll just have to ask him. But
Yeah.
just a quick one. Have you got prestidigitation, Dave?
I don't. I was intending to get it over a long rest though, seeing as someone stole my fucking mage hand. I was going to discuss and see could I have a replacement spell, please?
I mean, long resting generally is going to be pretty important as part of this moving along. I mean,
I'm just thinking for your part of the carriage, you could do with painting it, and I think prestidigitation you can change the colour of objects. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things with it.
Yeah. I mean,
because an elk and a different colour cart, maybe a red sleigh.
I mean, the fact that the cart is going to be short 3 carriages, I think, might be a bigger giveaway than the lack of colour.
Well, change the colour, put an elk on it. No one will recognise it. Done.
I can squeeze out some of these bodies and make a nice colour.
Crimson.
Yeah, I think that might smell a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit. Or it might attract God knows what on the road.
That's a good point. I'm just so. Woo.
So if I remember right, the time frames was if we were to take the elks, or at least one elk, it'd be arrive in the Hammer by the morning, so about 6 hours. Barrowcross, you're talking the afternoon.
Yep.
So potentially a longer rest, and then I don't think we might have added the time down to Hampton Bell, but either way, Barrowcross, and then next steps from there. Are we happy splitting up? That's the ultimate one. Are we happy splitting up?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. A bit of variety as well.
Could I also ask whoever has Rykov's cloak to borrow it? Who has the cloak?
Whose cloak?
Rykov. I think it might be
Tauchi. I think Tauchi's the one that looted him.
Did I pick up his cloak?
I'm pretty sure you picked up his either his cloak or his clothes where you chopped off his hand.
Yeah, you did say that you picked up his cloak.
Okay, I obviously didn't put it in my inventory. Yes. Well, good time to pass over the cloak.
May I have the cloak? The cloak.
Yeah. May I have the
cloak? It's like twitching.
Oh yeah. Which carriage are you taking? I'd advise you not to take the rear carriage.
I'll take the carriage with the horses or attached to it. I've already got the razor.
Oh, we could do. Would it be? Would it be much longer if we took horses back rather than an elk to the Hammer, and then we just took the horses and then they all took the elk?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean without carriage?
No.
Still with a carriage, but one carriage.
We take one carriage with the horses, then you guys take all 3 elk.
We can ask Borin first. Because he might just be like, "Yeah, you're gone."
That's Borin before we decide if he's all right with.
The elk would be faster than the horses.
Yeah. Now is Borin okay with us taking one elk to the Hammer?
So he's not particularly happy about it. And you, from the last session, you did some pretty meaty intimidation on him. So he's compliant, but he's not. He's feeling under some duress.
To kind of like, we won't be taking the elk. The elk will be accompanying us as an equal. and will be free and can go upon his or hers merry way once we get to the hammer.
That's all very well and good
Hey,
going
Joe,
on their merry way. What about coming back to me?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll speak to Boyd and say, all right, I got a deal for you. If we don't give back the elk, I'll give you 100 gold.
Right, I like the sound of that. That needs
If you
to
do
go
give
into
back the elk, you give me 5 gold.
So
It's an
essentially,
unusual rental agreement.
so essentially, I'm paying you for you to borrow my elk, if you return them. That seems.
You're a gambling man.
I'm a businessman. I like the idea of this 100 gold. I mean, that needs to go into some kind of collateral account. We'll call that my pocket.
Very well.
Yes, good. Okay, remove 100 gold from your character sheet. That is.
No, only if we don't bring it back.
Oh, well, I know.
You can hold it.
If you're not going to bring it back, you're not only going to give me some gold, are you? You just bugger off.
All right, fine
I
then.
need to be able to take custody. You've got
Fine then.
fully fair. You've got my elk. I have your gold. We
I'll
keep
give-
holding, swap them back. That's how business works.
Okay, all right, okay. That makes more sense than my idea. It's more of a deposit. I see.
Well, Thanos is like sort of like in the front carriage, just like looking at the harnesses, just shaking his head, just like.
All right.
For fuck's sake.
Okay,
Well,
I've taken out 100 gold.
We haven't even left my 100 gold down.
And I will write this out in a contract using my illusionary script. So only the people here that are with us are able to see it.
Right, that all seems above
I'll
board.
post that.
I like that. See, now you're talking. Something in writing. That's what I like.
While everyone was while they were squabbling, can Tauchi have gone for gone for a little wander, and look for any nearby beehives?
Yes. I don't know where you're going with it, but there is 100% a beehive nearby.
Cool. Okay.
It's like a kind of classic Winnie the Pooh hanging from a tree.
That's
kind of
exactly
apple
the
thing.
type he likes.
Yep.
Can he scurry up the tree and then steal himself, take a dive at the hive, pulling off the flip as he grabs it, flipping in the air, landing on the floor, and then bolting it back to the carriage.
With all the bees still inside.
Not all still inside.
So you're
Actually,
you're taking the beehive back to everyone. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, but
Are
you
you
know
at
what?
least putting it in a bag of some kind? Or you just like
Yes,
With all the bees inside.
he
Angry.
just before he dives, he will pull apart the spider web that is in his inventory, and he'll dive and wrap the beehive in it.
Is this your attempt of getting honey to make some mead?
that
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
100% what it is. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you can 100% do that. Give me an animal handling check
All handling, okay.
to determine the level of sting that you get from these
Okay.
angry bees. Okay, animal handling. That's not fantastic, so I'm going to say that... Right, we're going to treat this as a swarm of insects. They hit, so you take... 14. That's pretty good for you. You take 8 damage. 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing. Whew. There we go.
And you have some honey, some honeycomb, and some angry bees in a spider's web bag.
Excellent.
Okay.
Right. So is everyone agreed on which way people are going and who's going where?
I think so. So Hammer.
I think it's just Oregon. Where would he go?
Well, I mean, if making up the numbers, it makes sense they do the Barrowcross, right? Although, actually, no, for even numbers, he would come to the Hammer because they've got Boring. But you don't know how dependable Boring is.
I'm listening.
Although, they're probably...
Yeah.
Gone.
We're gonna.
Oh,
I say we're potentially going to get someone else maybe at the Amps and Burl. We're going to get the Tradewind dude, possibly.
But the other thing is, should we take a very angry Leonin into the Hammer as we're trying to stealth around and find stuff out?
I agree. I think the Hammer is going to be smaller numbers, will be easier to get to where we need to go. And
we've already got Grom.
Grom is going to be our into the Vale, right? Or, sorry,
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also a no offense to him, but a bit of muscles for brains.
Grom's so sneaky. Grom blend in.
Tenos is going to ask Clive what he wants to do as well. So where is I think last time he was with Tenos, but what kind of shape is Clive in?
Clive will be. What will Clive be doing? So Clive will be wanting to. Clive quite likes the safety of your metal armor.
Okay, fine.
And so his happy place is kind of tucked away inside your breastplate. So that would be his default.
Okay, fine. So I kind of
Clive's hand's becoming an old man. He's like, it's my safe space.
So Tenos would just kind of his arm is a little bit battered around that area anyway, but he just kind of just sort of taps on it. And he kind of, Clive, we're heading out. Are you coming with us to the Hammer, or do you want to go home to Amsonville? Hammer, you got it. All right.
He just gives you a cheeky little stroke.
All right, you cozy up with the spiders.
He's very warm and comfy there.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Before we split, the matter of Dawkins' body. So his body, I believe, is not wrapped up in anything; it's just exposed. So, Tenos goes over to Faust and kind of puts his hand out and says, see you on the other side.
Faust would obviously take the hand and shake it.
Is it a severed hand?
and then Tenos pulls his hand away and it's Clive.
So many pretend hands.
No. Tenos still says we're going to return Dorkin to Brian and Temple. Do you have any requests?
No. I think let Olmeta redeem himself.
You'll always have his ring, and Tenos gives him a cheeky wink.
What was the name of the god again?
Olmeta.
Okay, I thought you said Olmeta. It's like, that's not God.
After then hit by a bolt.
Are you fucking pedant?
How much honeycomb does Tauchi have?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it like 3 or 4 gallons of mead worth?
Or a diabetic cat friend in the corner.
You have two of them next to each other.
Whoa.
Honey or honeycomb?
That's how big the hive is that you have.
Okay. Okay. I just wondered if there was... Yeah, it's quite a lot of honey. I was wondering if there's enough wax there to be able to wax encase Dwarfkin. Wax and balm.
Nice. I would like to know the elk's reaction to all that honey in close proximity.
The elks seem much more carnivorous than that at the moment.
Were they not eating the kobolds?
They are very interested in the spoils of Buttercup's little sojourn.
Lovely.
And also bear in mind, if you want to use any of the stuff in the hive, you also have some angry bees in there.
Okay, give them a little shake.
So I want to make sure you add those to your inventory. That you have the hive, its contents, and angry bees.
Oh, I know what I should have used. I was looking
Did
for
you
things
use some
to
form of
use.
smoke?
Yeah, well, I've got a water skin full of smoky despair.
So,
Could be used to
so did
knock 'em out.
Dovkin.
Depressed angry bees.
What's the point? Has anyone looted Dovkin's body yet?
Tenos will now loot Dwarfkin. Well, no,
How he's got Sildar?
no, Sildar. Well, okay.
Well, yes, Sildar the Second's.
That is a very good point. I mean, I'm going to be a bit more respectful. Through removing Dwarfkin's body from the back carriage, which I believe is where he was, moving him to the first carriage, out of sight, in a kind of, if there's a compartment, great. If not, he would just kind of lie him down while kind of checking his body is still intact. He'll see if there is anything of use for a fellow traveller.
Does Faust want to take the Dovkin's big shield, stone shield that he can remote control out of the first carriage?
Remote control shield. Remote control shield sounds like a good idea. And yeah, so who's taking this Sildar second helmet? Makes sense for Tenos to take it, right?
Well, I was about to say is what first off, what does Dwarfkin have on his person as he's laid in the carriage?
Let's have a look. So you took
Ring
his
of
ring.
mind shielding, an emblem of some description, an amulet of some description, a helmet, Sildar second, water skin of Smoky Despair.
So I'll take the water skin because it looks interesting, and
the amulet and emblem were of Ilmater.
Yeah, I think that stuff is going to be staying with Dwarfkin out of kind of respect with a water skin. I doubt there's any kind of religious connotations of that. But does anything happen when Tenos touches the helm?
No, and if you're just touching it, no.
As he slides it off Dwarfkin's face just to see his full face, just to see it all. One dragon to another.
The other non-dragonborn wouldn't be able to tell this, but you as a dragonborn, you can tell that his face. He looks like he was in a significant amount of pain at the end, and that expression is still on his face.
Tenos just kind of takes his face and he just kind of pushes it away from his own, just so he doesn't have to look at it just a bit. Like, it's okay. And then just pockets the helm or like attaches it to his belt for now, and the water skin, and drapes Rykov's cloak over Dwarfkin in the carriage.
Okay.
He also had his Radiant Aegis that wasn't in his character sheet. Is a magic weapon or item that is probably best for Faust with his clerical abilities.
Just added Dwarfkin's ring to my sheet.
Did you hear what I said?
There's my fancy there's an once for long rest as a reaction to activate the amulet.
Is that smoky despair or liquid despair?
Smoky.
Smoky.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that looks like that would sensibly work for the Ilmater questioning cleric, warlock, bard.
So who's got the big old sword? Because you've taken that off Grom. Who now has custody of that?
Oh yeah, good point. That was in the back carriage, so I mean, I think the front
Grom
carriage
was holding it.
Oh, was he holding it? Oh, okay. Well,
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
I ushered Grom to the front carriage
Have
to
we
kind of
bound
get
it in
ready.
anything?
It's
Or is
in
it
my
still-
cloak. It's in
Yeah.
Tenos's cloak.
Um,
And 5 meters of hempen rope.
I'm just wondering whether Tauchi would sling it on his back. He would be concerned about after what happened last time.
I think Oregon surely is the. Well, you should be able to conceal it in the carriage at least.
Yeah.
You
But
did
then if we leave the
determine-
carriage-
You did determine before this caravan is full of hidden compartments.
Yeah, we might as well keep it in the carriage for now. Link it away. In a hidden compartment.
Okay. So,
Just don't lose the carriage. Don't get reverse carriage heist.
Which carriage?
The ones with all the shit in it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Who would
like that.
who'd be stupid enough to try and take over a caravan with an absolutely massive elk at the front?
We probably would.
Yeah.
Okay. So the carriages split up. So one is going to the Hammer with Dovkin's body in. The other two are going to Amsonville via Barrowcross with the sword and the big shield for Faust to use if he ever wants to use it. Yeah, is that how it's going?
I think it is.
Okay, so without further ado, shall we just go before we waste any more time trying to decide what to do?
I was gonna
I would
say-
like to actually have some content.
we're an
Yeah.
hour in and we've got the plan. Yes.
Right. Right. I would like a short rest,
Done.
please.
So you both, so each party gets geared up, and you part ways, and you both set off in your respective directions. The giant elk can move at a pretty damn fast pace, so you don't feel like there's any particular likely hold up just from the pace of your movement. Tenos, Slicks, and Grom, everyone can have a short rest. So you have everyone has at least an hour uninterrupted. So please do take a short rest if you wish. Tenos, Slicks, and Grom, about kind of 3 hours in, you come across it's the small roadside campfire with a small group of what look like travellers who are stopping for the night. They're kind of roasting some meat beside the road, and kind of give you a suspicious but cordial greeting as you pass them by. And it's quite an unusual sight to see giant elk coming down these ways. So they kind of raise a hand. Hello there, friend. What news from your parts?
I'll let you tell us to take this one.
Nothing but trolls and irritation in that direction.
Trolls and irritation. Oh dear. You want to get a cream for that?
I know. Tell me about it. Why do you think I'm going this way?
Oh, well, think. don't think things are much better in the Hammer if that's where you're going. We've just come from there. Oh!
Oh, tell more.
Well, there's some kind of big fire. And there's some people who got pretty angry. It all seems very disorganised. There's a lot of hullabaloo going on. I mean, there seems to be a lot less soap on the street, which is good. But that seems to have led to a lot of unruliness, a lot of disorganisation, a lot of people using a bit more muscle than they would do normally to get ordered, if you know what I mean.
I mean, with a disorder, there's always opportunity, but who benefits?
Well, not us. I mean, we've lost most of our gear, just trying to keep out the way of the new kid.
New kid?
He's a bit scary. I mean, he's around these parts. He hasn't gone far away from the Hammer, but God, I don't know where he's gonna go. But there's this person who goes around with a heavy, keeps angrily yelling at people about goblins. Scares the shit out of me, man. Scares the shit out of me. Like there's a look in his eyes. Said I had a goblin-looking jaw, and that made me really fucking scared.
Well, thank God you're not a goblin. Even with that jaw.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that he's only... Well, I hope he continues only bothering goblins, but, you know, someone who goes around calling themselves Oliveri Death Axe, I don't hold up much hope.
What? Just so we know, what direction did you see them? Or last see them?
Well, we last saw them during the day, but we were hoping just camping here during the night. They'll continue wandering off, going their own merry way, trying to find goblins. We stick to more of the main routes. We won't get bothered, but... I mean, if you want to sort out some goblins, he's probably your lad. But if he does want a peaceful life, trouble. It's got everyone at the Hammer very, very twitchy.
Seems like that lad has a absorbent amount of vengefulness in himself.
Yeah, I mean, all your... I mean, I don't know whether you are of the entrepreneurial bent, but all of the more... how would you say, more discreet entrances and exits to the Hammer that bypass the main gate, they're more risky now than they ever were. Everyone's on high alert. Everyone's watching their backs, watching all the walls, all the weak spots. Ain't good.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, we were just going to go right in the front, like the perfectly honourable tradesmen that we are.
I do apologise. I did not mean to cause you offence.
Oh no, it's always good to know, because you never know who you're dealing with. But thank you for letting us know the state of the Hammer. We may think twice before going any further. But what may I ask, are you doing out here then? If the Hammer is it really in that bad a state?
Well, there used to be... It seemed like the soap was keeping everything together. You know, at least you knew where you stood. There were big groups. That was it. Now there's a couple of big groups. There's a lot of little groups as well now. People doing their own little thing. It's like crime decentralization. It's not good. One thing that used to be on all the posters where I come from used to be, if there's gonna be crime, it might as well be organised. The governor, he campaigned on that basis, and Made a lot of sense. Made a lot of sense.
Tenos just kind of has a belly laugh, and he just says, "What they need is a good old hanging."
You know what? Not enough hangings. Not enough hangings.
I love a good hanging.
At least, you have a hanging. Justice has been done. You can see it with your own two eyes.
Clear as day. Absolutely no foul play there.
It's quick. You just throw up the gallows. It's done. 10 minutes. All it takes to do a hanging.
You know what? I'll take that with me back to the hammer.
You do that, friend. You do that. Fantastic beast you got there, by the way. That'll probably get nicked.
I mean, they can try.
Yeah, I mean, now look a bit more closely, it does look like quite a lot of blood that is around its mouth. Yeah. Oh, it's not normal.
No, it's one of those things. It looks big when you're far away, but when you're up close, ooh.
I know. I thought you were miles away. You came up quick. But yeah.
Well, is the elk quite passive in this kind of? Or is he?
Yeah. He's kind of quite pleased for a little bit of downtime. Doesn't seem to be kicking up too much fuss.
Fair enough.
I mean, you just make sure that the lords don't take a liking to it. You don't want to be subject to any confiscations. You know what the rich people are like.
Don't digest. So, what's your name, good sir?
My name is Devin.
Pleasure to meet you, Devin.
And as you look down, you see there's a human who is Devin, who you're speaking to, and he has two people with him, but they've got hoods up. You can't see their faces, and you can't see their race or gender.
Just beating a Titan. If you ever make your way as far as Lampton, Devin, check in with you don't want to check in with. Check in with the academy. They're always looking for adventurers.
You frequent Hammerfall, do you?
Or program many places.
Interesting. Yeah, I've got quite a few mates there. Yeah, quite a few who are steady.
What's Flick's reaction to that?
He'd have a knowing look, but he wouldn't say anything else.
If you want, I can. If you're heading back that way, I can. I mean, I know you're going to the Hammer now. Heading back that way, I can get word to him. If you need a favour.
Was steady? Was that like? Was
always found it handy to know someone who's steady.
Was that corruption in the what?
Yeah,
it was. Medicine man, nice. How can we use that to advantage?
I mean, if you wanted to get a message.
No, but if you wanted to, but not via salacious route. Because if
not much, if you want to get out of it.
I think we can give him a message, but we try and make it a bit cryptic. So more so that maybe more of the senior try and get a message to the more senior members of the watch. Aside from Ross,
I don't think there's. Well, it's up to you at the end of the day, but I feel like Tenos wouldn't be with Tenos being good friends with Rosh.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd want to
it
work
feels
with
like it's
those that are
it's
steady.
exactly it's on the wrong side of um of Rosh and Talos' relationship. And I'm pretty sure we killed some people, or at least threatened those that were steady in Thousand Pearl. So they may not be our allies anyway, whether they know it or not. Um, and I think what Tennis will say to Devin is it's always good to have friends, shall we say. Um, if we do need to get information back to Amson Burl once we're in the hammer, is that something you can help with?
Yeah, you know what? You know what? If you put a notice up on the main notice board, you know, one that's right outside the big tower. You put a note up there for old Devon. Word will get back to me. Word will get back to me. So, what are your names, just so I know?
Tenos has no problem giving his name to Devin.
Slicks will tell him Samuel.
Okay.
I kind of Tenos like knowingly not wants, but like is he kind of thinks that they will put two and two together a gold dragonkin and the name, and when they get to Amazon Bell and meet up with their Padres and the wanted posters and the hanging, I think it will all kind of click.
Yeah, Slicks wouldn't give out his actual name to a random stranger on the street.
Yeah.
He's a lot more cautious than that.
So, I don't know it's late and that, and you've got ways to go, but you don't want a bit of soap, do you? I'm not into the big stuff. Just a cheeky little, you know. A little pinch of soap.
I'm good on the soap front, thank you.
I'm good, thanks, my friend.
No worries, no. Do you think your ride might want some? I mean, it looks pretty fucking fast. Imagine how fast it'd go with a little bit of soapy marching powder.
He goes so fast he wouldn't stop at our destination.
Maybe next time.
Right. Farewell, Devin. Just
Is
kind of
anything
rear
else
the.
that you guys want to do with Devon?
Go on. Oh. So who's he with? He's with two other people that are like hooded.
Yeah.
Can we see like arms or anything like that? Can we see any kind of pieces of flesh?
Give me a perception check.
Could I also do that?
As if you're both doing it, one of you do it with advantage.
Oh.
What's your perception bonus?
I'm just checking. My perception is probably not as high as yours.
Mine's +5.
+2. No, +1. So yeah, you go for it. Oh.
Advantage 24.
Had attention the past couple of days.
So with a 24, you don't notice anything in the way of like obvious tattoos or exposed flesh that you can see, but you do notice that they're both definitely taking note of you. Like they're not just head down, eyes on the fire. They are watching you. They are looking at the elk. They are looking at the carriage. They are taking in every detail.
Any chance that 2 sets of 3 kobolds in a cloak?
There is always a chance of several kobolds in a cloak.
I'm assuming that they are like informants or something for the Vale, and this guy is out to lower our guard as a friendly guy. That slicks his thoughts anyway.
Is Dick going to backflip off the carriage and Randall kick him in the face?
No, there's no
Okay.
reason to give them any more reason to find us suspicious. You know, considering we've got this giant elk.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
And I assume the Vale also have details on McTavio's carts. So they may be looking out for clues on that front, but maybe they don't have enough details to identify a single cart. Maybe they're expecting one that's 4 carts long or however many there were.
This particular the front cart as well. The I think it was the skin over the top of the frame was completely burnt off via dragon breath. So it is a bit more hopefully unrecognizable than what it was before.
Also, Talos gave his actual name, right?
Yeah.
Are the Vale aware of Tenos' name? That's a thought.
You're not
when
sure.
would you have given your name out?
The only no, I haven't. Aside from when I first met the group in the soap factory.
Wait. Oh no, you weren't there. Yeah, no mind. I was gonna say
maybe to Forge. Even then, I don't think Thanos gave his name to Forge. Just Forge was more interested in looking into his soul than his actual, label, his pronouns. But I don't believe Thanos. No. So unless that's something that they compute together from Praxis's prior engagement with Thanos and the heroes from Hammerfall.
Interesting.
I'm just giving Rick ideas of like all my my ideas that I think Rick has come up with. Are just things like,
it's
could be useful later on.
I genuinely didn't consider though, but it's a very good point. Thanos has actually been quite incognito the whole time, which is ironic considering the size and color.
Yeah, because you haven't actually been in the Hammer long, had you?
No.
We did the raid on the warehouse and then left the next day, so there wasn't much time. But I reckon if the other guys came, they had met a knight fellow on the way into the Hammer who had the symbol for the Vale, and also Faust is kind of known a bit. He did a little performance at the Barrow Cross, which the knight was heading towards, along with a little courier guy that Faust fucked over.
And if anything, Tenos is going to be confused for Dorkin.
Yes, hopefully they didn't see Dorkin.
He's lying down in the carriage with the cloak over him.
Yeah. Okay, shall we carry on? We'll give our farewells to Devon.
Yep.
Well, you travel safe, friend, and I'm sure our paths will cross again if the good winds favour us. And as you kind of kick off, Grom says to you both, quite loudly, "See, I could be secret. No one saw me."
Oh, fuck. I forgot he was there. They've obviously seen Grom, and now they're going to warn that we're back in the Hammer. Oh,
forgot about Grom.
And and we flip through to the other party, heading down to Barrowcross. It's a longer journey for you guys. So I would like either Tauchi or Faust to please roll me a d20 and a d4, please.
I'll do the D4.
I'll do a D20 then. I've just added my cleric spells that I realise I probably should have added a few weeks ago. I was like, this is so shit. I don't get anything for being a cleric. And was like, yeah, I didn't get to long rest after I leveled up, did I? That would be why.
So there's gentle rain on your journey, but nothing obviously bad befalls you. And it seems like a uneventful trip. So unless there's anything specific you guys want to do before you get to Paracross?
Can't long rest, no?
Yeah, you can. Well, sorry.
Thanks, Jim. I'll long rest then.
There was like at least 10 hours, I believe.
You can absolutely long rest.
So, should we take it in turns to long rest? I mean, you can do for a long rest. You do like 3 hours of actions and 5 hours of sleep.
You can set watches and rotate watches. You just can't like kind of do stuff.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to be fully asleep for the full 8 hours, but you can't be kind of off doing extra things during a long rest.
Okay.
But you can like attune to things and stuff as well, can't you?
Yeah.
During a long rest.
All right, I'm
Improve crafting. I assume he's wanting to make some ale of some kind. Is that what you wanted to do?
It was tempting, but you know what? I'll hold on to it. I don't really want to use my smoky despair at the moment. I want to get some just general smoke to smoke with these out.
All right. In the spirit of trying to get back into the swing of things of being a cleric, I'm gonna use my new ceremony, and I'm going to make some holy water before I go to sleep, which takes a whole hour.
As you do, you do this successfully. You hear a voice in your head. Do your little magic tricks all you like. There's fewer of you now. You're going to need my help. And I'm right here. Right by your side. Release me.
I know.
And then you go to sleep.
Nice.
And just Faust, roll me a d20. Okay, thank you.
You take 15 psychic damage.
Mr. DM, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. DM, sir, can I have a new bard cantrip, please, seeing as you stole my last one?
Yes, as long as it's not Mage Hand.
Well, okay. That's fine. Thank you, sir.
Unseen
Thank you,
Servant,
sir.
I'd recommend.
I'm playing collect the cantrips.
I think.
Well, if you get Unseen Servant, that's like a mage hand, but you have a whole body.
Fauci would have been reading back through the book to see if anything new had appeared before taking a rest.
Okay. Yes.
That's
quite a few new stuff has appeared. Give me. Are you looking towards the beginning, the middle, or the end of the book?
In classic fashion, he'd probably start at the end and work his way backwards.
Okay. Reads end. Okay. After this, I will send a message of some of the stuff that you learn. But yes, there is definitely new writing in there.
2 seconds. I'm still listening. Just stepping away.
So, you guys arrive in Barrowcross. It looks largely how you left it. You rock up with your giant elk. The places that you went to before are still there. So you've got the Winter Hall. You've got the tavern. You've got the Market Square. You've got the church. You've got various other buildings. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do? Who do you want to talk to?
I think in the first instance, I'd probably go to the tavern. Just poke our heads in, see if the old ladies are there. I want to call her. I want to call her Weatherwax, but I'm pretty sure that's the one from Discworld, isn't it?
Yeah, Granny Weatherwax.
They
Granny to know.
They were canonically Nanny Og and Granny Weatherwax.
Oh, it was? Okay. Okay.
So yeah, you go into the tavern and you can see Nanny Og sitting there, drinking what looks like a gin, and big smile on her face, kind of just politely chatting to people around her.
Morning, right?
Point.
Yeah, it's late. It is not an appropriate time to be necking gin.
Okay. So I think Faust would probably make a beeline for the ladies. Tauchi, you coming as well?
Yeah, Tauchi would be coming along. Probably just before going, would say to the Tiger Man, Oregon. Can you stay with the car? Are you okay to stay with the car?
I suppose so. Don't be too long. I'm not here to do guard duty.
Do you want anything from the shop?
What I say?
Well, now.
A cold wafer treat.
Cold wafer?
I'd like cold, encased in a wafer cone.
Oh, I
It's
reckon
a
I can.
delicacy of my people.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll have a look around the market. Onward.
I think as Faust pulls up, I think he'd just look to disguise himself as generic village person number 7,
Okay.
just to be blend in, and then make a beeline for the tavern and for Nanny and Granny.
Taking Buttercup with you?
Say again?
Are you taking Buttercup with you?
I think Buttercup probably should stay outside. So take us with us, but stay outside the tavern.
Okay.
She tends to get excitable.
Okay. So yeah, so you can rock up next to Nanny Og. She's sitting there drinking the gin. You are disguised as generic townsperson. You walk in there with a monk cat.
I think we'd look to kind of go over to them and ask for a quiet word away from the hubbub.
Hello, dearie. Of course. Why don't we go and find a booth? And she points you towards a booth in the corner, which is occupied by some quite large, mean-looking men. But she kind of hobbles over. Hope you don't mind, gents, but I think I'll be sitting here if that's all right. If you don't mind skedaddling. Good lads, good lads. they're such sweeties, these boys. Off you go. They do not look like sweeties at all. They look like large, kind of leather armor bound baddies. But she manages to get them away, and you sit in a booth, and she's still got her gin. So, what can I do for you?
Tachi, did you want
Yeah. Well, a lot's happened. Many years have passed. I believe you ladies will understand.
I'll
Been travelling.
You started to remember, are you, darling?
I am.
You just
There's a
give it
lot to
time.
remember.
Don't try and force it all at once. Your past is like a very, very large sandwich. You don't want to tackle it all at once. Just take little bites and it'll happen.
Wise as ever.
Now, Mr. Faust, I'm sure there's a reason you're choosing to not look like you. I'm not going to say it's rude. I won't question it. No judgment from me. Are you in a spot of bother?
I just kind of go over and be like, we're trying to blend in. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
She will just point at her.
Yes.
Feels side eye.
we are in rather a substantial spot of bother, actually.
Oh dear.
We may have awoken Athelion. The evil god that nearly destroyed civilization as we know it. So that's not great.
It's not ideal.
We're trying to fix things, and we're gonna go to Amson Burl and let the powers that be know there. But we wondered if you may be able to offer any assistance, just because we don't want the world to end.
As you say that, behind you, you didn't hear anything approaching, but behind you, you hear a very stern voice. Well, few people want the world to end, and those that do are often quite mad. So at least you have some level of sanity if you don't want the world to end. But if you think that Gither and I can just go off and fight a god who's waking up, I think you've got the wrong end of the stick as to what we do exactly. And Granny Weatherwax sits down next to Nanny Og. So what exactly is it that you think you need our help with?
We need all the help we can get. In any way we can get it.
And what's your plan exactly? If you have a plan, then we can figure out where our ideal positioning is within that plan.
I experience a lot, but I'm not there to plan it. I'm there to see it through.
Right, so he's given the cop-out answer. What about you, Faust?
I'll kind of I'll drop the charade of being generic townspeople number 7, and I'll be like, we believe the beholder Praxis, who previously held Amson Burl hostage, has moved to the Hammer. He's moving his forces and is trying to obtain the weapon, the Godslayer, and we're currently in possession of half of that weapon. We are trying to assemble an army to defeat Praxis and do whatever is necessary to stop oblivion occurring.
Well, you won't find much of an army here. Willie! No, not much of an army. I mean, we are happy to help, of course. It's what we do, it's what we're here for. I mean, have you stopped to question why this beholder is trying to do what he's doing? What is his aim? Why does he want to get both pieces of this weapon? And what's he after? I suggest you figure that out, and then maybe there'll be a more obvious place for the kind of influence that we have. I don't think you necessarily need an army. No, just a good bit of headology, that's all you need. Right place, right time. Yes, quite. One condition, though, of us helping you. I passed by a young lady when I came in here. She was looking at some flowers, and she was doing... She was poking her finger with a dagger to the point that she was going through quite a lot of skin. Quite disturbing. I think we both know that she doesn't belong out. I think we both know she belongs with her kind, with her family. I think you'd better return her to her family. And then we will give you all the help and assistance. We will even come with you. But gods waking up, that happens all the time. We know what gods do. She is entirely unpredictable and dangerous.
Like Baba Yaga.
The less said about dear sister, the better.
And when you say she should be returned to her family, you mean with the three ladies? Were they Fae?
Our sisters,
Witches?
our sisters.
The
in the
two
hammer.
ladies. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
There should be three. There should always be three. Not a lot that can be done for her who you mentioned. There's still time for the young lady who is travelling with you. I do suggest that you return her. It's for everyone's best interests. Hers and the country's. She might not think she wants it, but I think you'd better return her. The devastation that she could bring without even realizing it. You never know. It could bring you a boon. It could be hugely beneficial to you.
Did you say boon or boom?
Well,
Or
exactly.
boob?
Exactly. I'm not sure I would be willing to take that chance. You might be a little less risk averse.
I say I'd get up to the table and say, "Thank you, ladies. It's been a pleasure."
How old are the ladies?
They look like old women, but they're kind of like old women who, like, even if they look like they're in their 80s, they look like they could still, like, take on a shoplifter with a brick in a handbag type.
But it's quite likely they're a lot older, being witches.
So you you know that the ladies in the hammer are very old, given the conversations that you had with them already about your book and it being safekeeping. They are likely hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Did they just refer to them as little sisters?
Dear sisters.
Dear sisters, okay. But also, was it Granny just mentioned that she knows about your book as well in your travelling?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Could I do a history check and see if Tauchi remembers anything about the ladies in general, or the order that the ladies might belong to, having in his travels?
Absolutely, give me a history check.
Oh.
So you would know that in kind of the history of like what's written down, but also hearsay and what's being told, is that the ladies have been certainly in the Hammer and in some of the more populous towns or towns where stuff's going on. It's as though they've always been there for as long as there's been a town. There's no kind of particular record of them appearing or them like any kind of big thing where they come along. It's as though they've been there for as long as there has been a town.
Also, there's also the case of in the dungeon we were in, the woman there, she called herself the First Lady. Is that correct?
She did,
And
yes.
she had you in a box.
Mm.
So there's something going on between you and the ladies as well.
It's memorable.
Crazy cat ladies.
It's his harem.
Okay, I think Tauchi would brazenly take out the book and start reading it in front of them. Something he wouldn't normally show in front of people, but he does not. He's not concerned about showing it to the ladies and them even being able to read it.
Okay, so they would be outwardly nonplussed by it, but they would say, "Now, here's a warning to you, young one. You're not quite as old as you think you might soon be yet. Treat that thing with caution. You should respect everything with a soul."
Tauchi will pause as that's said, look up, and carefully close the book.
That's wise. Be very careful what you write in it. It's very difficult to undo what is written. Often people write things and not really understand what they're writing. By then it's too late.
Is it the Death Note?
Who is it?
Who indeed? I mean, that is for you to discover, surely.
I know, I hope it isn't.
Tell me, what soul would you fear most to be in that book?
My own.
Fear is a powerful motivator sometimes. Sometimes it just makes you stop still and die. I really hope, for your sake, that it's the right one. Now, what brings you to Barrowcross specifically? Because I know you didn't just come here to speak to us. I might have done, I'm quite pretty. We don't want trouble in this town. We're sort of here to keep things in order.
Tauchi slides the book off the desk and pockets it and puts it away in the bag. Says, "We need two things: stone golem from the manor that we once destroyed, but need to bring back, and cold wrapped in wafer, whatever this means."
So, Nanny Og can sort you out with the oldie cornetto. And as for anything that you left in the Winter Hall, I'm reasonably sure it's still there. You might find some extra visitors there these days. They keep themselves to themselves for now, but we've got our eye on them.
Are they drow?
No, not as far as we can tell.
Then they might live.
Quite. Best of luck, and well, when you decide what's going to happen with the young lady out there, we'll meet you at your transportation. We did promise we'd come with you, if the conditions are right.
I'm struggling to where were these sisters? Was it in the Hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the Hammer, where you did a little. Was it a dance or a song for them as payment?
I don't recall.
There was the old one and the crazy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I'm looking back through my notes, but I can't seem to find.
It was in the Hammer. It was just after
Lady
you signed
Dahlia.
into the Bards Guild.
And what's the other one's name? I remember Dahlia.
We got Laburnum.
Laburnum.
Laburnum. I can't.
Lady Laburnum.
I had to guess how to spell it.
Lady Laburnum is
that was Buttercup.
Buttercup, yeah.
Oh right.
You had the Lady Dahlia and the Lady Adira.
Oh, Adira. Yes, it was on the line above. And Tauchi is the enlightened Grandmaster.
I mean, as great as it would be to have these ladies, I don't think we can sensibly sell out Buttercup at this stage, can we?
That's not what Faust would say.
Do you not hear the fact that she was stabbing her own finger until
This character building.
She is becoming more and more of a loose cannon.
Yeah, but she's just trying to pass the time.
The fireballs when we were fighting the trolls.
Yeah, but you know, she's
Fireballs. Muzzlepon on Dovkin.
But she's just getting
at that
bored.
age.
Exactly. You know how it is. I mean, I cast fireballs sometimes.
I forgot you hate her, don't you? You want to see her suffer. I forgot. That's your whole thing. No, mind. Yeah, I said the thing.
So it's Faust saying this to Tauchi.
I think words to this effect.
Okay.
Tauchi would respond, when the time comes, you will need to stay with her and help her adjust.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
So
we'll
the two ladies
go over to the hall.
Okay. You have two ways in. There is the way. So I'm assuming you're heading straight down to where you faced off against the very, very deadly Medusa.
Yeah, probably would go through smash the
Blight.
back door in again.
You can go
I think always the back door if it's an option.
Yeah, there was an entrance to be found at the end, wasn't there? Or an exit.
Yeah, from the graves.
There was
Mausoleum.
there was a like a circular staircase that led out in the back garden.
I think that has to be turned into a soundbite, Dave. You just said.
So yeah, so there was yeah, so there was this area here.
Oh yeah.
Which led down versus the front door. The back way was the way that the ladies came into at the very end. So
Yes.
Are you going?
Dovkin lives.
Yeah, I think we'd go straight down. It's like we know where we're going. I probably don't want to talk to the butler again. He's a bit of a Debbie Downer.
Okay, so you go straight down.
This is where you met we picked up the Sildar's relative. Is this
Yeah.
the Hallwinter
Yeah.
Manor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't see anything right now.
So let me just stick you. First.
Cool. Yeah.
Touchy. Let me put everyone
Don't
on
know.
this so that you can.
You probably would have healed, wouldn't you, Tauchi? Or hit dice
yeah.
or whatever.
Did we have a long rest?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Long rested.
Okay, so
Telos marching ahead.
Oh my God, Telos and Slicks, absolute chads.
I've got no sight, so I can't see anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Is there any? No, Touchy doesn't. No one has any. Oh, Tenos does. You can use Tenos as a light.
There you go.
There's a light
Yeah, there you
coming
go.
out of Tenos's face.
I'm golden, so.
So as you come down the stairs, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Perception.
Oh, I was quite chuffed with 23.
Yes, so people have definitely moved in down here. You can hear activity, voices of at least half a dozen other creatures down here.
Okay. I think. Did you want to stealthy around?
Yeah, I think I would stealthy around.
Have a look. Have you got dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. So I'll just kind of hold on. I'll hold on to your tail, and I'll follow you in the dark.
Maybe I should go ahead, considering I could probably run the whole basement in one go.
So let me just get this clear. So Tauchi has dark vision, is leading the way. Faust, you don't have dark vision. You're not lighting any light, but you are holding on to Tauchi and using him as a guide.
Yes, I think I'd have his tail in one hand, and I'll have a couple of the toes in the other hand. Shield Guardian toes.
Okay, so I'm going to need both of you to roll stealth checks. Faust,
can I just bat him off?
Faust at disadvantage because you cannot see, and you are relying on holding onto a cat's tail.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Okay, so yeah.
A cat that's not happy about you holding onto his tail.
So as you're moving through, Tauchi, you're going pretty quietly. You are aware that Faust is being louder than you would like him to be behind you. Because he has a lute on his back that as he's kind of stepping forward, the strings are just twanging against his backpack.
Could I stop, turn around, and say, "Please stay here"?
I'd say I think I'd whisper back, perhaps a little more lightly than I should, just being like, "Don't worry, I've got your back."
I know. That's what I'm scared of.
Give his tail a little tug. I've got your back.
Very tempted here.
And also, did you take Buttercup with you down here?
No.
Okay.
I think Buttercup has been given strict instructions to stay upstairs and only come downstairs if she hears us shouting.
Okay. If someone give me a perception check again.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
So, given I can't see anything, I won't bother.
Yeah, so you can tell something has been heard.
Oh.
It's not a kind of like, oh no, there's intruders, let's go run and attack. It's kind of like, that was That was weird. Like, activity has stopped. Like, there was a pause, and then, like, whispers, and, yeah. Attention seems to be focused a bit more in your direction.
Okay, so the Shield Guardian is directly south of us, right?
Yes.
So I reckon regardless, we just make a beeline for the Shield Guardian. Because if shit goes down, I'd rather have a Shield Guardian in my corner.
Well, yeah, I think if I would be inclined to cover this top passage, and
What,
if
like
you want to try and grab the Shield Guardian, yeah,
this way or this way?
yeah, I'd be inclined to cover here.
Okay.
And because the Shield Guardian's going to be, oh, there he is. Doop.
Oh yeah.
So if you can, oh, is that my dark sight working weirdly? Looks like my dark sight's only starting 60 feet away.
No, I think there's a torch.
There's
in the
a source
distance.
of light down here.
Okay.
Brazier. All right, I think. All right, what I'd do is I'm gonna kind of like combat roll across to the other side, like I'm James Bond. I have my back over to and I'd be like, Tauchi, I was like, I'm gonna get the Guardian.
Tauchi.
Okay. Are you going for speed or are you going for stealth?
Oh, I'm gonna go for stealth.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to make another stealth check, please, as you do that daring James Bond roll across the corridor.
Twang!
Oh dear.
So
Nailed
Faust, you get to about there. Tauchi,
Oh no! I don't want to go that far.
You said you were rolling across the.
Yeah, just from here to here.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So you slam against the wall.
And then can I if I kind of reach out and try to interfere with the stone guardian, can I sense it? Do I need to be closer?
You can definitely sense something.
Hang on, what does the Medusa's necklace say? 150 foot.
Yeah, you can definitely sense something. Tauchi, what are you doing?
I'm gonna quietly move down and take a peek around this wall.
Okay. As you take a peek around the wall, you see a hobgoblin staring directly down at the corridor, and you see a couple of other faces poking their heads out of these side rooms, and they heard Faust hurtling into the wall, and they have now seen you, and the hobgoblin draws a sword. We are going to flip back to the other party.
I'm listening. I'm going for a wee.
Okay. Right. Right,
So
come on, Flick.
you guys are carrying on. Are you heading towards the main gate? Or are you trying to get in through more secret ways?
So, as we're kind of approaching, I think Flicks and Telos need to have a little discussion. What do you think, Flicks?
Right, so let me just check my disguise self. No, it says self. I coded it on myself. Fuck.
Go on. I mean, I had a rough plan, but I'd like to hear what Flicks's keen eye for espionage and sneaking around would like to do.
So, my original plan was to find use our mate Grom here, who's part of the resistance going on in the Hammer. I believe it's the Sleepless Vow. He should know a secret entrance into the Hammer, but from our mate just back there, do we want to trust the fact that he said that the secret entrances are dangerous? Do we trust that?
I mean, I don't not.
He did seem very suspicious. Oh well, his friend seemed very suspicious.
I don't not trust it, but the likelihood of what happened in the soap factory, because we were there when it burnt down. Well, I'll tell you more later. Would make sense that the city is at least on high alert or in some sort of disarray. Now, whether it's as bad as they say it is, I do not know.
My thought is it's probably going to be easier to fight through a secret entrance than to fight through the main entrance.
My main problem is getting Dorfin's body into the city. And my rough plan was to weekend at Bernie's him with the cloak and basically sit him up front with us. Don't try and hide him. Put the cloak around him and just make him seem like he's out of it. That was my rough plan.
Let me just read something.
And if all else fails, just get Rykel's hand and start waving it around.
It only lasts a minute.
I'm sure.
I was gonna
Go
on. Use. It's not gonna work, but I've got a spell called Mirror Image, where I can make illusionary me's. So I was gonna disguise self, use that, but then I realized the mirror image only lasts a minute. The duration is a minute. So I don't think that'll be too useful.
I think ditching the car and sneaking in would probably be a better option.
Yeah.
But do we want to do that before we get to the main gate to give the elk an opportunity to, stay out of harm's way, which I think would only be fair?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, me too.
Because I've got 100 gold on this elk. I'm going to deposit on this elk.
Can the elk understand us talk? Understand our kind of general kind of conversation?
Yeah. Are you speaking in common?
Because we're not talking shit about it.
Yeah. Speaking in common.
Languages, yes. It can understand you. Everything you're saying.
I do an insight check to see if I actually think that.
Absolutely. Insight or his. Yeah, you can tell it's understanding what you're saying. Like you say, elk, its ears go back, as though they're pointing towards you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think that might be the best route to try and. I mean, obviously, we should probably ask Grom as well. He knows the hammer better than both of us.
Yeah, Grom, what do you think?
Most discreet way in, as your master of stealth.
Well, depends how sneaky you want to be. If you want to be double sneaky, head brain sneaky, could go in the main gate and pretend to be baddies and go with the line with the baddies and say, "Oh, what baddies? Ooh, that could work." Or I could go check out the sneaky ways. I often find that even if there's people there, they don't see me. Even if they see me, they leave knowing that they have not seen me. So I think that shouldn't be too much bother unless they've bricked it up or put lots and lots and lots of people in.
I think if we're gonna get, thank you, Grom. That's
I'm very clever and useful with the strategy.
That's very insightful. I think perhaps getting rid of the caravan, we could use that to our advantage.
Yes.
I don't want to spend a huge amount of time, but I'm going to assume that there's things in this caravan that we don't want to be caught with, and maybe using it as a diversion or catching it on fire could be particularly useful.
Yeah, just hold on a second. Just need to check something.
Just because I'm a dragon doesn't mean I always need to set things on fire, but quite often.
These bloody broken outs. They get lent a car, straight away they want to torch it.
It'll only get stolen.
Okay, so I may have a way of getting Dovkin in there that it may not be very ethical, but we could get them in there in one piece. And it would not cause a burden to us.
Can you elaborate on ethical?
I've got a bag of holding.
What's a bag of holding?
Infinite storage.
I think Mary Poppins bag.
Holy shit! I mean, yeah, that would be considerably easier than, carrying the dead weight of a giant dragonborn.
Yeah. Can I copy and paste this?
Do things age in the bag of holding?
I think so. I think it's just.
They do in Genie's lamp, but I'm not sure if they do in the holding.
I've just pasted the description. I think it's. I don't think it has any preservation. Yeah, it's.
That's insane. You could fit several elk in there.
If they could fit through the 2 feet diameter of the bag entrance.
The insane part is if you put a bag of holding in a bag of holding, you've got like a instant kill device.
Oh
yeah, there's some like weird strategies.
Astral portal.
You throw it into the bad guys so they all just explode in like a black hole event.
Well, either we just rock up to the gate with the elk and the caravan and we just come up with something on the fly and hope they let us in, or we try and sneak in.
I think we tried sneaking. For the elk, I'm not too sure what to do with the elk. As I want to keep it safe because I've got 100 gold on it. But I don't think it's going to sneak in with us.
Grom, is there anywhere just outside the city limits that we can keep an eye on where the elk might be safe?
I mean, long as you're not worried about it getting taken by bandits. You tie it up against a tree. I'm gonna have Grom do an intelligence check because Grom has remembered something, but I want to see if he thinks to tell you and put 2 and 2 together. No.
Oh.
I mean, you could tell it to run back. It's pretty scary, but you tell it to run back really quickly. Go back the way it came. It's not going to get attacked by little tiny things, but if it gets attacked, it's going to be by something big and horrible. Probably get hurt. If you could squash it down, that'd be good.
I think if we can communicate with it, that would probably be best. Like, try and.
All right.
I think
Genie's lamp out now.
Which elk was this? Was this the one that had tendencies to be to not listen to instructions and go off on its own?
That one was my assumption was that you kept that one with Borin.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay, just making sure. So if we give instructions, it's more likely to listen to them than that other one.
Yes.
How about kind of?
Well, I was thinking if we get to the edge of the forest,
Hmm.
and then we just tell it that we are heading into the hammer,
Mhm.
tell it to lay low.
Yeah, keep a low profile.
And you have a little wander around, hunt for some food, and we'll be back for it later.
Okay. Yeah. What for our signal?
I mean, unless you've got a better idea.
No. I think that's pretty good. I mean, this beast is probably used to taking care of itself, but I also don't want to necessarily just send it away. I think keeping it close by could be quite useful.
We could promise it some kobolds if it behaves and doesn't run away.
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
Sorry, I'm just kind of imagining how we close this loop. So kobolds love pigeons, elk love kobolds. how do we finish this loop?
Pigeons love elk.
Oregon loves cornetto.
What? Perception.
Persuasion. Persuasion. Sorry.
Persuasion. Whoops.
Oh god. Oh god.
God damn it! I rolled a 16. I would have had persuasion -1. I would have had 15. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean the elk understands everything you're saying, and you've got no reason to think that it won't do as it's told.
We are 100% confident that it will do that. Fair enough. I think I think I feel confident in destroying the caravan. That's a positive thing. What do you think, Luke?
Destroying the caravan. Sure.
Or do we want to
hide it?
You think hiding it could be better?
It could be because we may need it. Could be we may come out of the hammer in need of a vehicle.
Well, because it's a vehicle with nothing to pull it.
What do you mean? Our elk friends staying around?
Oh yeah, of course. It keeps repeating, of course. If fair or fine, we let's attempt to hide it, to drive it into a bush or behind a rock and cover it up as best we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hiding the caravan, hiding the elk, and so are you then on foot going into the main entrance, or are you going the back way?
Back way.
We're going down the back alley.
3 of us with Dorkin in the bag.
However, Slicks would be going ahead, acting like sneaky, trying to check out to see if there's anybody hanging around this sneaky entrance.
Okay.
And Tenos has taken Rykov's cloak that was on Dorkin's body previously and is now wearing it and covering his head and is shrouding his body as best he can.
Okay, so you go through to the traditional back entrance. Slicks is kind of sneaking ahead. Grom is trying to keep up. He thinks he's being sneaky, but really he's just got his hands out. He's just running with his head slightly down. But you getting there first, you know that the secret way out is via like a ferryman who crosses over like what's left of kind of a moat that kind of flooded and leads into the estuary, and then that leads to kind of a bit of where the wall is. The wall of the hammer is crumbling and not really there. You notice that where there should be one ferryman, there seems to be a group of at least half a dozen individuals waiting there.
Okay. Do I notice anything suspicious about them, other than them being this?
The fact that they are there is very suspicious, and Grom, when he notices, turns to you guys and goes, I think I can sneak past them.
Have they spotted us yet?
They don't seem to. I'm going to sneeze.
Hmm.
I think if I have anything.
Grom says, I reckon I can sneak past them. If I go up to them and cut their heads off, they won't see me.
I have a feeling there's going to be plenty of time for that, Grom. So what's the setting? So they are. Are they in a clearing by the lake, by the river, by a boat?
Careful, Rick's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so normally we're... excuse me.
Okay.
It's the soap. Normally, where there's just kind of the ferry, kind of banked up and ferryman there. There's still someone who is in charge of a ferry boat, but then there's kind of at least 6 people kind of milling around there. Right. They are loitering.
So they're not looking like they're attacking the ferryman, but it's more of they're saying who can and can't go through.
Very much so.
Okay. Does the ferryman look intimidated by them?
You can't see from your distance.
Can we see if they're letting anyone through?
At the moment, there's one who's making the journey.
Can I sneak up closer to see if I can spot anything more?
Yeah, so you sneak up closer and give me a. This is your MO, and it's kind of only just coming up to sunrise. So yeah, give me a stealth with advantage.
Okay, I also have that ability, just to keep in mind. Stealth. Oh, fucking hell. Good job, that's your advantage.
You can tell that these are a band of armed thugs, and you can spot some of them have got a purple emblem on them. Which suggests,
do I notice anything more about the ferryman?
The ferryman looks deeply uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so Grom turns to you both and says, we're still going this way, but shh. Or are we turning around going back through the front?
Hold on, Grom.
I think we're best going this way. I think it's going to be easier to fight through any issues here than it would be the main entrance, as a fight there could cause more attention to us.
So, Thanos turns to Flicks, who I assume is like snuck his way back to Thanos and Grom. And it's just kind of says, so in intimidation or
I reckon we take these guys out. Looks like they're harassing the ferryman, and from the looks of it, they're part of the vow. Not the vow, the other one.
Okay.
The veil. Why'd you give them both give them a V? It's really annoying.
Okay. Thanos is going to keep the shroud on, but he's going to get the length of metal chain out of his bag.
Okay.
And just kind of, it's about 10 foot, if I believe.
Yeah.
He's going to wrap a couple, maybe about a foot or so around one of his hands.
Okay.
And then he's just going to kind of hold the rest of it, but he's basically got like a good purchase on one of the ends. Okay. And he's just going to kind of have the chain in his hand.
Grom is very happy with this, and he turns and says, "Been a bit too long since I've done in some Vale thugs. I'm looking forward to this." And that is what we're going to call it. So we have everyone geared up to go into combat. We have half the group with the Shield Guardian in sight, but with Hobgoblin and some other people who've moved into the mansion. Definitely spotted them. And we have another group who are looking to go the secret way into the Hammer, but are going to have to fight their way through some Vale thugs to do it.
Brilliant.
Nice. I reckon we send
Very
Grom
nice.
in as a distraction, and then we try and circle round behind them.
Yeah. Gonna get nasty.
Get some sneak
Splitting
attacks
the
in.
party is not a death sentence.
No.
Also, can I just say, I've just seen your t-shirt, Rick. I very much like your t-shirt.
Oh, thank you.
You're wearing that. You were there.
Yes.
Lan. No, that wasn't intended. I was like, did you see? Oh, wait, yeah, sorry.
No, I was between
Yeah,
being
sure, we're
violently
sick. I get it.
being
yeah.
coughing and shitting my brains out.
You shouldn't have had that burger from Five Guys.
Fuck off! It was up, but
You were.
No one else had anything from Five Guys. They were all fine.
I was ill before that.
That's
That's why the fucking hoodlums came over, because I was sitting away from everyone else. So I didn't make anyone else sick.
They could smell the weakness.
Yeah. Well, when they came over, they were like, "You all right, mate?" And I was like, "No, I've got COVID." Thinking that'll make them fuck off. Nope. Little fuckers.
Yeah.
Rick,
It's looking live now.
I'll aim to come to you on Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
Probably will be about 2, 3, 4-ish.
No worries. If it is a problem, then I'll let you know.
That's fine.
But yeah, should be
I've got no idea where you live. Is there like somewhere sensible I could leave it anyway?
Oh yeah, it would just our place is pretty safe to leave stuff just outside the front door. But we definitely should be in.
That's fine. I'll do it. It's just because it's out of my house, off my to-do list.
Cool.
We haven't got a character sheet for Borean. Are we not meant to? Boring.
I mean, I haven't seen Tenos's since he started. He's doesn't show on my list.
Oh yeah, it doesn't show on mine either.
Sneaky. It is there.
I think it's not viewed for everyone. I think it's only viewed for you and Rick.
Players, journals, all players. I did that because in the first session, I didn't want it to be. I wanted to keep the surprise reveal.
Yeah.
So it should be in everyone's there.
Also, Slick's token isn't set up, so I don't have my health and AC automatically put through.
What the fuck is this? I've just seen you critical failed with a 13.
Yeah.
Fucking
By an
hell.
advantage, so it's fine.
For expertise.
Yeah, expertise in stealth, sleight of hand, and acrobatics.
Which makes sense as a rogue.
Yeah.
Assassin.
It's just nuts.
I mean,
That's
by the end of the
big
day,
numbers.
a nat one's a nat one.
Yeah.
It's failed no matter what.
Oh, could I get an achievement? Do I get an achievement for having more than 10 cantrips?
No. Inti had more.
I mean,
I've got 12. 12 cantrips.
you make it more likely that I take more away.
No!
He wants the free spells.
give me the free ones.
I've just seen about haste, and haste would be ridiculous, especially
Yep.
if
There's
haste.
Maxi that could run like 120 feet in a turn.
But then immediately afterwards, you are exhausted.
Yeah, but that's for 1 minute, right? You get haste for 1 minute. So I was looking at Buttercup's feet and noticed she's got Long Strider.
Yep.
for the extra 10 foot. So if she long strided me as I am, I think I get another 10 foot on later levels, maybe even more. But if she did it now, I'd have 60 foot static. But I realised I'd been reading feline agility wrong before. Feline agility doubles my base till the end of the turn. So if she doubled, then my feline agility doubled. And then
I will make judgment calls on how much these things can stack, but also like if you want to use stuff that Buttercup can do, that's fine. But I will direct you towards her chaotic awakening.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm almost imagining Tao Chi going out like in a flash of lightning, Back to the Future style, when he just reaches too fast a speed.
I mean, stranger things have happened. So we will start next week with resolving those combats, and there'll be some sharing of NPC character sheets so that there's not half the group doing nothing. So yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, Greg.
Should be interesting.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks very much, guys. Cool. That went off flawlessly. That plan just went.
So far.
Yeah, there's still lots of time to fail, don't worry.
Yeah, there's still combat to fail at.
I was seriously expecting Praxis to, after bellowing down the crystal, to then just summon a bunch of demons, all to appear then and there.
Yeah.
What was more likely was you going, I can see behind you. What's all this? You've not blurred your background. I can see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go.
Calling from the pub in the meeting. Yeah.
Ollie, I'll see you tomorrow.
Did you fart?
No, I heard Hannah was just coming out the bathroom, so I snuck out the bathroom and went boo. And she's very jumpy. Right. She's very jumpy.
Have fun with that.
I could see the blinds behind you floating around. I thought you were appeared farting all night.
Well, I will catch you guys next week.
Right.
Catch you later.
See you later.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks
again. Bye.